Hey guys, welcome back to Solace 40. My name is Kelly if you're new here. This is my big helper, Evie. So we're here in the parking lot of our Azure drop-off. This is our second month doing an Azure Standard pickup. So Azure Standard is a bulk buying, mostly organic food, bulk buying food co-op. Don't let the term bulk scare you off. They also have all kinds of things that you can buy just individual jars of. Last month we got a jar of peanut butter because I wanted to try that brand. Each month you place an order and a big old semi truck picks up everyone's food and you all meet at a central location, unload the truck, and take your food home. It is pretty awesome. Like I said, last month was my first month and I was so impressed with this. And so we placed another order and we'll be doing this every month. My goal is to get as much of my groceries from them as possible and eventually eliminate the need to go to the grocery store at all. You think we can do it?
Maybe.
I love your optimism. So we're a couple minutes early, which is good because last month the parking lot was so full. People were parked all over the place. And we actually found a spot this week. And we got
really full already.
It is. And we got an email saying that there were even more people in the order this month. So we're gonna pick up our food and we're gonna take it home and unbox it, and I'll show you what I got. Hey guys, okay, so we just got back from picking up our Azure order. It's much nicer out now than it was when we were there picking it up. It was hailing.
It's hailing / raining. It's so weird.
Pretty nasty. So there's a tip, wear a coat. Or bring an umbrella, dress for the weather. So this is what we got this week. It's all in boxes still, so I'm gonna unbox it this month. You're right, this is what we got this month. And this order is a little bit smaller than the one that we did last month, only because a few things went out of stock before it all shipped. So things do go out of stock with them, just like they would anywhere else. But they're great about notifying you ahead of time to let you know that that won't be in your order. We have been working to go to more of a bulk buying system, buying more items fewer times a month as opposed to running to the grocery store every few days or every week, simply because the more often you go to the grocery store, the more money you spend. And you know that's true. You take a kid with you, you throw something extra in the cart, or you have an impulse buy. And so I've been getting a lot of questions about how it is that we do that. How do you do that with produce? How do you only buy produce once a month? So we're gonna talk about that in here, in this video. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all unboxed and we'll show you what we got. All right, so we got everything unboxed. It's all just sitting here on our table. And one of the reasons that we bulk buy, other than the fact that it's great for food security, and there are a lot of things that you can't get in the grocery store right now, is that it can be a lot more cost effective. Inflation is always happening, right? It's especially happening right now. We're at a 40-year inflation high. So when you're buying food at the grocery store and you're buying in larger quantities, you are buying your food at today's prices instead of next week or next month or even next year's prices. We are not by any stretch of the imagination what anyone would consider preppers, but we do like to be prepared. That's just wisdom. And we don't do anything like, we're not growing our own food or buying in bulk out of fear. It's simply out of preparedness. So when you buy in bulk, that's one of the ways that you can actually beat some of the inflation. So one of the things that we buy in bulk is sugar. This is a 50-pound bag of cane sugar and just organic cane sugar. Now, buying 50 pounds, you would think, man, they must use a lot of sugar. Well, no, we don't, but sugar stores very well long term. So we'll just put it in a 5-gallon food grade bucket with a Gamma Seal lid, and I will link to those in the description below. And we'll put that downstairs in our root cellar. It's a cold storage room, and it will last forever. Maybe not forever, but a very long time. It's a heavy one.
Also, I bake a lot, so it's good to have extra sugar on hand.
She does bake a lot. We also buy flour in bulk, so we have shifted from buying bread or anything like that in the grocery store to making our own, and so you need to have flour. This is organic wheat flour. I didn't mean to buy wheat. I meant to buy white, so we're gonna be doing a lot of baking with wheat flour, but we will store this the same way in a 5-gallon food grade bucket with a Gamma Seal lid. The Gamma Seal lids are great because if you just have like a regular 5-gallon bucket with the lids that pop on, you need a mallet to pound them down, and then you need a crowbar every time you want to get into them, and I don't want to do that. The Gamma Seal lids are awesome because you can just twist them on and off and easily reach in and scoop stuff out. Next up is molasses. So this is organic blackstrap molasses. It's 1 gallon. Another way that you can be more prepared is, since we have organic cane sugar and we have organic molasses, we can make our own brown sugar instead of having to run to the store for it if we're out, if we need it, because brown sugar is just cane sugar with molasses added. Frozen mango. This is a 5-pound bag of frozen mango. I live in Michigan, and in the winter time, fresh fruit is extremely pricey. So we almost exclusively buy frozen fruit, with the exception of citrus and bananas, because you can get those for a good price. But when it comes to like mangoes or berries or anything like that, it is much more cost effective to buy them frozen. And not only that, they're actually often fresher when you buy them frozen because they're picked at their height of ripeness and then they're frozen right away. A lot of the time, by the time you get to your fruit at the grocery store, it's been picked a long time ago and it's had things sprayed on it in order to keep its freshness. So we just buy it frozen, and then when it's in season, here's another tip to beat inflation at the grocery store. When it's in season, go to a farm and pick it yourself. So we do that with strawberries and blueberries. We will find a local farm that doesn't spray with pesticides, and we'll go and we'll pick tons and tons and tons and preserve it into jams or freezing it. We froze, how many pounds of blueberries did we freeze last year?
I think over 30 pounds.
I think we did about 30 pounds of blueberries last year. And in order to do that, all you need to do is you get them washed and dried, and then you lay them out in an even layer on a sheet tray and freeze them. That's called flash freezing. And then you can put them in bags, gallon-sized bags, and put them in your deep freeze, and they will last for a really long time. And so those lasted us until just a couple of months ago, and then we had to start buying frozen blueberries. But when it's blueberry time here in Michigan in August, we will go and pick tons because we don't have blueberry bushes here yet on the property, but it is in the plans to plant them. Strawberries, the same thing. We are planting 100 bare root strawberries this year on the property, and we're going to make jam and freeze them. If you are new here and you don't know, we just last summer sold our dream home in the suburbs that was on just a couple of acres, and we purchased a 42-acre farm with the goal to grow as much of our own food as possible. So we are putting in a huge garden this summer and just getting all the things ready. We have some fruit trees already on the property. We've got an apple orchard, but we planted some new apple trees and some new cherry trees, and we're just doing as much as possible. We have laying hens, and we have meat birds coming next month, and we have pigs coming this month, and we're going to be doing cows here in the next couple of years. So we're very excited. But that's a great thing that you can do with any produce. If you are in a setting where you don't have a lot of land to grow a ton of your own food, the first thing I would say is you would be amazed at what you can grow in small spaces, just in pots, on decks. Some of you just have fire escapes, but you can grow a ton in pots. You can grow in windowsills. You can grow in green stalk. Vertical gardeners, going vertical is a great way to maximize your space. I have 4 green stalks that I bought last year when we were in our old house. I will link that in the video description below as well. You can grow a ton of food in that. And then the other tip is to, like I said, buy things in season when they're in season, and learn to preserve them in a way that you can eat on them for the rest of the year. So you can even if you're not buying them in season, you can still buy them in bulk. So like from Azure Standard, last month we got, I think it was like 40 pounds of potatoes, and they're just down in our cold storage. Potatoes do really well in cold storage. So things that last a long time, you can buy in bulk, and just store them or preserve them. So today I saw somebody had a huge thing of peppers. So that's great. Peppers aren't in season right now here. They won't be until August-ish. And so things you can do with peppers, you can either chop them and freeze them, or you can pickle them, or you can ferment them. And those are ways that you can eat on them throughout the month instead of having to go to the grocery store and buy bell peppers every single week. This is a wide mouth funnel for canning, and this is an 8-pack of organic lemon juice. A lot of canning recipes, tomato recipes and such, call for adding lemon juice in it to make sure that the acidity is high enough. So as you can see, I am starting to stock up on my canning supplies now. I've actually been stocking up on jars for months because last year and the year before, we saw major shortages in canning supplies because more people are growing their own food and learning to preserve it. So it's wise to stock up now. Azure has tons of canning supplies, everything. A lot of people got chicken feed. I think I'm gonna get my chicken feed from there. This is a 32-ounce thing of balsamic vinegar. That is reserved for, I have a plan for it. I got 32-ounce cold-pressed extra virgin organic olive oil. You can see it was cold because it's solidified, but yep. Azure is a great place to get your cooking fats because they're very reasonably priced and they have a great selection. So I got 2 things of organic virgin expeller pressed coconut oil. Dried cranberries. These are organic, and I like these ones because they are sweetened with apple juice concentrate. It is really hard to find unsweetened cranberries, so I really like these ones. What I'm wanting to do is make my own granola. I have a family of granola fiends. They love the Aldi granola, but I don't love all of the ingredients in it, so I want to make my own and see if they like it. So cranberries it is. These are also just really great in salads and stuff. Spices. I am loving getting spices in bulk at Azure. This is organic ground cumin and organic rosemary. So what I do is I just save my spice jars and I will just fill them up. These are in an overflow cupboard and I will just fill them up as I run out. This is a great way to buy spices because spices in the grocery store are incredibly pricey. And I use a lot of spices in my cooking, especially through the winter months when I don't have access to a lot of fresh herbs easily. I can get them at the grocery store, but again, really, really expensive. Okay, next up is buttermilk powder. This is organic buttermilk powder. So they don't sell organic buttermilk in the store where I live. And we don't use, buttermilk is one of those things that we don't use a ton of, but when we want it to make pancakes or something, we want it. So this is non-instant, so you just have to rehydrate it. You just add 3 tablespoons of buttermilk with 1 cup of cold water, and you've got buttermilk ready to go. So that is a great shelf-stable item. These are oxygen absorbers that I will throw in my dried goods when I'm storing them so that so oxygen is kind of the enemy of storing goods. That is what will make things go rancid. So these are oxygen absorbers that can help keep your food good longer. cheese. They have a great selection of cheese. This is Landmark Raw Mild Cheddar. And this is just a really good, there's no colors or anything in this. So I am trying this out for the first time this month. We haven't had this brand, but what I would like to do eventually is get to the point where we're just buying big blocks of cheese and I shred it myself. Did you guys know that the cheese that comes pre-shredded in the bags has anti-caking agents added to it, and it's usually in the form of wood pulp? Yeah, so this stuff is so much better. You can shred it and freeze it, keep it for a long time. Okay.
So heavy.
I got 2 6-pack jars of Jovial brand organic diced tomatoes. So, as I mentioned, we are putting in a huge garden this spring, like this month, like in the next week or two. And I have a goal this year to grow and can 100% of our tomato products. So anything from like diced tomatoes to ketchup to marinara to tomato paste. But that won't happen until they are ripe in August or September here. So stocking up on these. I love these ones. These are a great brand. This is Jovial brand whole peeled tomatoes. You guys. I got chocolate chips. These are organic chocolate chips. I don't know what I was thinking when I got 1 pound. This is gonna go in like a minute. But the thing about Azure is that you can actually get single servings or normal size servings of the items that you want to get. I also could have gotten a 50-pound bag of this. So maybe next time I'll get 50 pounds of chocolate chips, but that's gonna get them in 2 seconds. Figs. These are dried figs, and I love figs, but my plan, they're great on salads. My plan is to make a fig and balsamic onion jam and can it up. I saw a beautiful recipe for that, and that is great on little crostinis, little toasts. Also great on pizzas, homemade pizzas. Imagine how good that would be with some goat cheese or some of that raw cheddar on a sourdough pizza crust. Yum. And finally, cornmeal. Just organic cornmeal. I have been meaning to pick up cornmeal for a while because it's great to sprinkle on the bottom of your Dutch oven when you're cooking your bread, but I haven't had it. So obviously we can make cornbread with this, and this will last us for a long time. That is what we got in our Azure haul this month. We'll do it again next month. I encourage you to check their website. I'll leave a link in the video description below and see if there's a drop in your area. A lot of people will drive an hour or two one way once a month and get all of their groceries from Azure for the whole month. So you might invest the time up front, but you're gonna save the rest of the month when you're not having to go to the grocery store. Like I said, they have a lot of produce that you can get also, and they have pretty much everything. They've got a lot of the brands that I really like, and it's a great way to stock up, to be prepared, to beat inflation at the grocery store. So we'll do it again next month. If you enjoy this video, we would love if you would like and comment and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.